Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today for our free coaching session of the month. This is the last one of November, so I'm so excited to see you this evening. As you come in, be sure to say hello, and I want to, obviously greet you all. If you don't know who I am, my name is Latricia Pugh Griffin with Pugh Financial Coaching, and I'm excited to talk to you about tonight's conversation. And so, if you are part of the community already, welcome back. And if you are new, welcome. And I hope that today's information is helpful for you on your journey of financial freedom. This is a free event, meaning that it's open to everyone who's a part of the community, as well as I am live streaming on YouTube. So welcome to those of you who are joining via YouTube. And if you would like to catch it live, you can come into the community, and that way you can be on the Zoom to ask questions as well. And so, in order to maximize your experience while you're here this evening, I encourage you to take notes, comment, use the reactions, anything that will express the things that are resonating with you. Use that to your advantage because it helps everyone who's present, right? So I believe that this is a family atmosphere, and we want to create this to be a space where people feel welcome. So yes, but I am definitely excited to be with you all this evening. And like I said, my name is Latricia Pugh Griffin. I'm a coach, I'm an author, and I'm a speaker. And since 2013, I have been helping people grow in the area of their finances. And so it is a blessing to be before you today. With that being said, let's go ahead and get started. If you're ready, put one in the chat, and then we will go ahead and get started with today's conversation of finishing strong in the finances. But I want to kick off and let you know that I did not start off this way, right? So the version that you see right now is a person who experienced $500 in overdraft fees while I was in college. This is the same person who got two apartments in your name, in my name, in over the course of 5 months or 6 months or 5, 6 months. I was paying rent one week, rent second week, utilities third week, utilities the fourth week, maintaining two apartments that were literally 2.5 hours apart. And so when I come from this place of I understand what it's like to feel overwhelmed. I understand what it's like to be in a space where you don't know where your money is going. And so the things that I'm sharing with you, yes, there are some educational pieces that I've learned through my master's degree, but there are a lot of things that I learned through my life experiences. And so I want to give you my lessons that I've already paid for so that you don't have to go through the same struggle for as long as I did. And so by changing things around, I was able to have a 700 plus credit score by the time I graduated from college. And so, again, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And I was able to purchase my dream car. That doesn't mean that it was over at that point because I still made some decisions that really didn't prepare me to enjoy the blessing, right, for the work that I did. Because it's not enough just to get it. We want to make sure that we enjoy the process as well. And so this is why we're finishing strong. It's not important. It's not only important just for us to start well, but we want to finish well. How many of you set goals at the beginning of the year? I know I did. There are some goals that I said that at the beginning of the year that I wanted to do well. And again, it is November. This is where people get weary. This is where people are saying, like, I'm a little tired. I don't want to look at a budget. And so this is just to give you like that last jolt of energy so that way you can finish this year strong. So you can finish this year strong. And so tonight, I'm going to share with you the three secrets to finishing strong. The three secrets to finishing strong. And if you do these three things, I promise you that you will make progress. I'm not telling you that it's going to be perfect, but I am telling you that it is possible for you to get to a better space towards the end of this year if you do these three different things. All right. So we're gonna go through the three secrets to finishing strong, the three secrets to finishing strong. And so, um, with that being said, let's talk about secret one. Secret one. And as we get to this secret one, again, like I said when I was talking about myself, it isn't enough just to make the money. We have to know what we're going to do with it. It isn't enough just to make the money. We have to know what we are going to do with it. And so when we talk about this, we're putting it in the frame of mind is I have enough, right? I have enough for enough of the resources that God has provided to me. And so this first secret is finishing doesn't wait. Finishing doesn't wait. Okay. One of the distractions that can happen or pitfalls that can happen this time of the year, because it's like the holiday season, schedules are kind of crazy, all the different things, we will say this phrase: I'll wait till January to start fresh. I'll wait till next month to start fresh. I'll wait till tax season comes and I get my refund check. That's when I'll, get things in order. But the reality is that when we wait to do the work, we tend to make the situation worse. So things can compile up, things can get even worse. Then the moment that we realize that this is bad, things can get even worse, and we realize like there's so much pressure. And so when we avoid looking at what's going on, we understand that finishing doesn't wait. So I'm encouraging you to start this process today by going through the thought process of thinking of the things that you need to do financially and just making a better decision daily, one decision at a time. I'm getting stronger. I'm making better decisions. I'm making different choices. And by doing that, I'm putting myself in a better position. So finishing doesn't wait. Finishing doesn't wait. Okay. All right. And so there are two questions that I want to share with you. And so make sure you write these down so you have them for your reference later on. The two questions are, as we think about the end of the year, what major expenses do I still have before the year ends? What major expenses do I have before the year ends? And the second question is, how will I adjust to the changes in my pay during the holidays? Why are these two questions important? The first question is important is it's it's important to capture what you actually need to do, right? So it's easy for me to say, like, the low hanging fruit is I know that Christmas is happening, right? But what other things are happening? If you're in the state of Alabama, I'm going to speak where I am. In the state of Alabama, car tag renewals are based off of your last name. And so if you have a car tag renewal happening in November or December, that's a major expense because that's not something that happens every month of the year. If you own a home, you may have property taxes. You may have other different type of financial obligations that are in the midst, right, of your day-to-day expenses. And then top it off, we have to buy gifts for everybody, right? So what are the major expenses? Because we want to have a clear picture of what we need to accomplish. And then the second question that I have is how will I adjust to the changes in my pay during the holidays? Depending on what field that you're in, I know I work in higher ed. And so because I work in higher ed, a lot of educators, they are getting their last check sometimes 2 weeks before the year ends, and they're not getting another paycheck until the end of January. And this is a really heavy burden. And so we need to think forward and say, how am I going to adapt with my pay peers having a large gap in between. We want to be proactive in our thinking and saying, what are the things that we need to take care of? So those are the two questions that we're going to ask, that we're going to answer this week, right? So take the time to answer these questions this week. What major expenses do I have before the year ends? Write everything down, put a number beside it, and how will I adjust to changes in my pay during the holidays? Do I need to look at my due dates? Do I need to look at all those different things? And this will help you to finish strong for the year. Okay. So that's secret one. Secret one is finishing doesn't wait. Finishes doesn't wait. Okay. So now let's go to the second secret. Finishing takes work. Finishing takes work. It is not an easy task to do well. It's not an easy task to do well. You have to walk in this knowing that I am going to put effort into this. I have to walk into this knowing that I want to achieve my goal, and I'm going to have to use some elbow grease. I'm going to have to pull the numbers out and really look at this and say, okay, these are the things that I want to complete in my finances. These are the things that I want to do in my finances in order for it to be successful. Because finishing takes work, each paycheck is an opportunity for you to grow. Do not look at it as I am able to accomplish everything at one time. The reality is that each paycheck is different, and you can't force it to be the same every time because your life changes. And so taking that like truth and honesty and understanding, I'm looking at each pay period as a fresh start. I'm looking at each pay period as an opportunity to make the adjustments and learn what I need to do to grow and work. And this is us growing and being proactive and understanding what I need to do on a daily basis. So we have finishing doesn't wait, finishing takes work. And so the questions that we're going to ask for that work. And so we talked about the expenses for the year. And so now we're going to put pen to the paper. We're going to ask those tough questions. What is my Christmas budget? What is my Christmas budget? We're not going to say, oh, I would love to do this, this, this. Put a number to it. How much do I want to spend this year? And so while you're thinking about who am I buying gifts for, put a number beside that person. For this person, I may spend $100. For this person, may only spend $20. You know what? For these group of people, I'm just buying a box of Christmas cards and giving them a card and saying Merry Christmas. Like you have to be realistic. I'm not saying that you can't be a giver, but we should not give at the expense of sacrificing our household. We should not give at the expense of sacrificing for our household. Because when we give those gifts and then they're happy and they're sleeping well, and there's a smiling about the gift, now here we are stressing about that we have been out of our budget or we have more burden on our household and it's going to take us multiple months to recover from the decisions that we made in December. And I don't want that for you. And so by putting boundary in place and setting your Christmas budget and say, this is how much I'm spending. These are the people who I'm going to buy my gifts for. This is the number I'm attaching to it. This puts you in the right mindset when you go into the store and say, okay, I'm buying this gift for Mary Sue, where Mary Sue's budget is $15. And so what you're going to do, you're going to look for gifts in that range. And so this helps you to pre-decide before you get in the store. And now you're making decisions based off of facts and the realities of the funds in your household versus your emotions. Because when our emotions come into play, that's when we can have those impulse purchases. And what I'm learning is just because you're having emotions, that doesn't mean that you have to spend based off of those emotions. Emotions are okay. Emotions are helpful. They are indicators of what's going on in our life, but that doesn't mean that we have to make a poor decision because of them. Okay? All right? We do not have to make poor decisions because of our emotions. And so finishing doesn't wait. Finishing takes work. And so we've asked those questions, and now we're going to go into the next part. And this is probably my favorite, is because it's the truth. Finishing takes grace. Have you given yourself grace? Have you given yourself grace for the progress that you haven't made? Have you given yourself grace for the mistakes that you have made? Have you given yourself grace for when you did help someone, but it was detrimental to your household? Have you given yourself grace? Part of it is that we dwell on the mistakes that we have made, and it paralyzes us and we can't move forward. So part of finishing is accepting, yes, I've made mistakes, but what have I learned from it and how can I grow from it? Falling will happen, mistakes will happen, but my encouragement to you is to get up as quickly as possible. Don't stay there. Don't wallow in your mistakes. If you did not make the best financial decision this pay period, the next pay period, let's make a better decision. In each pay period, we're getting better and better and better and better. And now we can look back and see that we're gaining more peace, more freedom, more flexibility. We're able to help people more, all because we are learning from our past and then applying that information to our future. And so the questions that we're going to ask during this time for learning from the mistakes: how many holiday gatherings will I attend? What will the cost look like? Because what happens in the holidays, just like I do, we have surprise events. We might have a work potluck. We might have a birthday party. Parents who are on the call, kids are going to have a Christmas party, and then the teacher's going to send you a message saying, I need you to bring a $5 to $10 gift. Well, have you already prepared for that? These are the things that help you to get prepared. And remember, because finishing takes grace, then you're going to give yourself the grace that if you do forget something, that you can adapt and adjust. If by chance there's a situation where it causes you tension, you're going to be able to take a pause and say, okay, what is the best decision for my family right now based off of the information that I have? And so we're not going to rush and make decisions. We're going to take the time to think. We're going to take the time to pause and see what's the best means for what we need today. And when you are making sure that you are going to start, right? So finishing doesn't wait. We're going to start now. We're going to work on our finances right now. We're not going to say that I'm going to wait until January to get it done. I'm going to do what I need to do today. When you take the time to know that it's going to take work and realize I'm going to figure out what my budget is, I'm going to understand like Christmas is X dollars. We can't go above that. And so, if we're going to do that, how can we be creative? How can we have the most bang for our buck? And so we can have a great experience, because Christmas is it's not necessarily just about the gifts. You probably won't even remember what you got 5 Christmases ago. But how can we make this memorable? And these are the decisions that you can make right now that will help you to enjoy this Christmas and you not carry Christmas into the next year. And so all of these things is helping you to be a better steward, because what you are doing is you're utilizing and managing your resources that God has given you. And when you're doing this in a healthy way, it's going to be for the betterment of your life. When you manage your finances well, guess what? Your family is at more peace. When you manage your finances well, you and your spouse are communicating better and not arguing. When you're managing your finances well, you can sleep better at night because you're not thinking about something that you got to pay or anything like that. When you're managing your finances well, it's not only helping you, it's impacting your entire life. And so I share all these things, and I was thinking about like last Christmas. Like I had to tell my sisters, just because of the house repairs that we had last year. I was like, hey, we not giving gifts to the kids this year, right? I think we only got my nephew something, that's because he's the youngest. But everybody else, like they got gifts throughout the year based off of their birthday. But that was the best decision for our family. Yes, I felt bad because we couldn't give gifts on that day, but we were able to do something throughout the year. So it was special for them in that moment. And so you have to figure out what's best for your family, best for your needs. Because again, when you manage your finances well, your entire life will receive the benefits. We don't want to just be happy on Christmas Day and then have to dwell all those decisions throughout the rest of the year. And so what I want to tell you is that my mission as a coach is to help Christians align their faith in their finances because I want that stress to go down. I want you to be able to walk in unity with your spouse, to walk in unity with your family, that you're communicating well, that you don't have to have buyer's remorse or guilt about helping others, that you can give freely, that you can give cheerfully, as the word says, and that when you have this foundation, that you can have a life of freedom and generosity. And so in PughFC Stewardship, this platform that you're on today, like I said, I'm offering this free call. So what we do in PughFC Stewardship, we offer coaching calls, we have resources, and most importantly, you have community. Community with other people, like-minded people who are striving to grow in their finances. So when you're having a tough day, you have people that you can lean on to say, it's a tough day. Could you pray for me? Because it's not just about managing your bills. It's like, hey, this is causing me stress and I don't know how to manage it, right? So it's more than just your finances. And so what I've seen is that they're gaining more peace. What I've seen is that they're improving their communication with one another, with their family members, and with themselves to make better decisions, to feel great about going on vacation or being able to spend money for Christmas and not use their credit card. These are the type of things that we're experiencing. And so those are the intangible things. Like you can't really measure peace or improve communication or enjoying life. But numerically, what has happened since June 2024, I believe, we've saved $30,222.22 for future expenses. So they've been able to take care of things as they come up. We've seen total debt payments to be $102,541.70. That's a lot of debt. That's a lot of debt. And they are actively working on it, even with their minimum payments, because every time you make a minimum payment, you're still close to your freedom. Do not minimize when you can't make an extra payment. The minimum payment is giving you progress too. And with that, total debts being paid off, 35. 35 debts have been paid off. 35 debts. That's the progress that they've made. And so, and this is with 16 people over the course of the community over a year and a, well, we're going on a year and a half. And I have just been blessed by just watching their growth, their progress, and everything that it has done in their lives. And so it's not just them. I share, what me and my family has done because I want to let you know, like I said, it's not just you going through the journey. I'm going through the journey. I'm teaching as I grow, as I learn, because I want people to come with me. I don't want to be the only person who experiences this freedom. I want other people to experience it too. And so in my family, myself and my husband, or my husband and I, yeah, that's the correct grammar, we have paid 21 debts off since we've been married. $20,000 in debt gone since 2022. So we're continuing to make that progress. And as you stay in this journey, you will see how the progress that we will make, right? You'll see us as we pay off debt, as we go through this journey. So I'm right there with you, going through this process of gaining financial freedom. And so I hope that this has been helpful to you today to let you know that all you can do, and not say all, the three things that you can do is not wait. The three things that you can do is not wait, do the work, and also, again, give yourself grace. Give yourself grace. The mistake happened. And I'm not saying that to not be upset about the mistake, but I'm telling you not to dwell on it anymore. If you've asked God for forgiveness, He has forgiven you for it. Now it's time for you to forgive yourself so you can move forward. And so, if you're looking for a space in a community where you can grow in your finances, where you can be coached in how to bring your life into your finances and not just look at your bills, I invite you to join the community, PughFC Stewardship. The link that's listed will give you access to how you can join the community. It's free to join. Obviously, if you want to be a part of the paid community, you can check that out. The base level is $47 per month for you to have access to the private coaching calls as well as the templates. But you do have the capability to buy the templates a la carte if you just want that as well. But this community is truly a space where we're growing, where we're learning how we can continue to trust God in our finances, be a good steward of the gifts, the resources, the tools, the relationships that God has given us so that we can not only be a blessing for ourselves, but we can also be a blessing to every person that we interact with. And every person who joins the community, if you would like to have a one-on-one conversation with me, you can also sign up for a free 30-minute consultation, and we'll talk about your unique situation, a specific goal that you're working on over the next year, and I'll give you action items that you can start today and growing in your finances. And so it's definitely been my pleasure to be with you this evening. For those of you who are online on YouTube, you can let me see. For those of you who are live on YouTube, I'm going to stop the live because now we're going to go into the live Q&A for those who are on the Zoom call. And if you would like to be present in that, I will drop the link in the YouTube link if you would like to attend that. But with that being said, I'm Latricia. I'm a financial coach, and I help Christians grow in their finances and their relationship with God so they can live in peace and freedom. Have a blessed night.